Hello, this is my video on smoking a leg of lamb. We've got half a leg here. It's the fillet end. It's about 1.5 kilograms, 2 pounds. Looking to try and get this video cut down to about 5 minutes. So, I really think you should look at a lot of the videos that you can see on YouTube about smoking different cuts of meat and take inspiration from all of them. Some of them are incredibly long, so I just want to try and give you as quick a video as possible. So I've got a leg of lamb, half leg, fillet end as I said. I've already put some garlic cloves in here, just made some insertions. I've taken all the fat off. I'm then going to put another garlic clove in on this video. I'm going to rub some mild mustard over it, and then I'm going to put some rub onto it. So the rub is a tablespoon of salt, tablespoon of garlic granules, and then teaspoons of cayenne pepper, smoked paprika, and also a salt that I like to use, Tubby Tom's Dragon Salt. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this garlic in here. So while I'm doing this, we're going to be using the Weber Smokey Mountain to smoke this today. So it will probably take around 4 hours, but you can never really go by time when you're doing these things. This really has to be based on the temperature. So at about when the meat gets to about 125 degrees Fahrenheit, I'll be looking then to take it out, wrap it in some foil, and then put it back in the barbecue. As soon as you wrap it in foil, it's going to really accelerate the cooking times. So there we go. Got the garlic in, got the mustard on there. I'm going to put the rub in. I'm not going to really rub the rub in. I just really want it coated. Don't know if I mentioned, I took all the fat off. There was a lot of fat on this, so if you're buying from a butcher, I would really recommend asking if they can remove the fat first, because I found that pretty tough myself. So that is the leg prepared. I'm now going to go and prepare the Weber Smokey Mountain. So this is the setup I'm using on the Weber Smokey Mountain today. Normally in the bucket you can see there is you put water. I've also added today some onions and some garlic cloves in there. And I'm going to be putting some beer in there, and then I'll fill it probably about halfway for a 4-hour cook. I don't think it's going to evaporate everything. Obviously as the cook goes through, I'll be keeping an eye on it to make sure that it's not running dry. I'm hoping the garlic and the onions will add some flavour there. Got the heat thermometers, so I'll hook those up. One will be telling me the heat within the mountain and one within the meat. And then on the actual coals itself, I'm going to be using the heat beads. I've found that these are really good at retaining kind of consistent temperature. They take a little bit more to get going, but because they last so long, you only really need a few of them. So I've got probably about 1.5 layers there and some wood chunks on top. And when the cook's finished, I'll close off all the vents to retain some of those coals. So sometimes you can get 2 or 3 cooks out of them. Because they take a little bit of getting going, what I might do is I'll use the small chimney starter from Weber, but I'll probably use some Weber briquettes in that because they'll get going really quickly, and then I can put them on top of the heat beads, and they'll get the heat beads going, and it's easier, frankly. So combination of those two really works. So I'll get everything set up, and I'll be back to you very shortly. Okay, just about ready to get the lamb on now. We've got the heat beads and the Weber briquettes. The Weber briquettes are lit and getting those heat beads going. We've got the lumps of wood in here, which are placed near the vents to help draw the smoke from those up through the Smoky Mountain. I've added the beer and water to the bucket, so that's all set. When the Weber Smoky Mountain gets to about 250 degrees, I will put the lamb in and put the heat gauge in there and wait for the lamb to get to about 125, so we can then take it out and wrap it. So the lamb's been in for about 2 hours now, so I've just taken it off the smoker. Smelling pretty good, looking pretty good. I'm just going to wrap it in some foil, and then I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to go for a target temperature of 190 to have it really falling off the bone. So I'm going to wrap it now, and I'll be back with you shortly. So it's been wrapped for about 1.5 hours and back in the smoker. So I'm just going to unwrap it now, but then I will leave it wrapped and resting for another 40 minutes or so before we actually start eating it. But as you can see, it is surrounded in a lot of juice, and Really does smell fantastic. So hopefully in 40 minutes or so we'll actually taste it and see how it is. So this has been resting for 40 minutes now. I've taken it out of the foil and put the juices to one side. There was a lot of juices there, so we'll probably add that. So now I'm just going to cut into it and see how it looks. The red that you can see here is the smoke rings, so certainly not any blood left in this. You can see the garlic there that I'd put inside. So far it's looking pretty good. It's falling apart. Obviously the real test is in the tasting. And I can tell you that tastes very good. Thank you very much. That is my smoked lamb.